Welcome back to our channel. Today's episode pulls back the curtain on a war you don't see, but feel. This is not about missiles or ships, but something far more insidious. Psychological warfare. Senate hearings in the Philippines have uncovered what appears to be a covert Chinese propaganda campaign waged against the Filipino people themselves. So before you scroll down, pause and think critically. On April 24th, 2025, Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino dropped a bombshell in a hearing on maritime espionage. He accused the Chinese embassy in Manila of paying a local marketing firm, Infinite Us Marketing Solutions, to spread pro-China propaganda across Philippine social media. This isn't a simple PR stunt. According to Tolentino, this was a covert influence operation, a disinformation campaign funded by a foreign power designed to manipulate Filipino minds. Infinite Us allegedly deployed a small but dangerous digital force. 300 Facebook accounts, 30X, formerly Twitter, accounts operated by just 11 staff members. Their job? Flood the internet with anti-Marcos, anti-US, and pro-China messaging. Their targets were specific. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was branded a puppet of the United States. His father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was attacked, and the administration's 16 trillion Cuban pesos debt amplified and twisted into a narrative of failure. When President Marcos signed the Maritime Zones Act and the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act, both essential to affirming Philippine maritime rights, these trolls accused him of provoking China. They didn't stop there. Even Congressman Ace Barbers was hounded online just for calling out China's bullying tactics in the West Philippine Sea. And it wasn't just about the Philippines. The disinformation network also shared anti-Typhoon missile content and repeated China's false claims that Japan's treated Fukushima water is unsafe. Let's be clear. This is psychological warfare. It's not about truth, it's about perception. If they can get you to doubt your government, to mistrust allies, or to feel powerless, then they win without firing a shot. And this isn't new. In 2020, Meta removed a fake Chinese network targeting Filipinos. In 2018, a pro-China narrative grew quietly through pro-Duterte bloggers. By 2023, that network had evolved, now more isolated, more radical, and more dangerous. Many of these so-called experts use big words and fake data to sound credible, but scratch beneath the surface and it's propaganda. Why does China do this? Simple. The Philippines is a key player in the Indo-Pacific. If Filipinos trust their leaders and assert maritime rights, China's aggression in the West Philippine Sea loses ground. But if they can divide us, make us turn on each other, then they win politically, diplomatically, and mentally. From social media manipulation to deep fakes like the pulverin video of President Marcos, these operations aim to confuse, distract, and exhaust the Filipino public. But the danger goes beyond politics. These campaigns also erode national morale. When Filipinos feel hopeless or distrustful of all institutions, government, media, even each other, it creates a perfect breeding ground for apathy and division. Think about it. If every piece of news is doubted, if every voice of reason is shouted down, and if every patriotic act is twisted into something sinister, then who benefits? Not the Filipino people. This tactic is called cognitive overload. You're bombarded with so much noise that eventually you stop caring, stop engaging, and stop resisting. That's when disinformation wins. Not because it's believed, but because it exhausts your will to fight back. And this isn't just online. It's psychological groundwork that weakens the resolve of a population ahead of more aggressive actions, like gray zone incursions, economic pressure, or territorial grabs. If a people are divided and disoriented, they're easier to dominate. We must see the bigger picture. This is not about one troll farm or a few fake accounts. It's a full-spectrum campaign to shape the future of the Philippines without firing a single bullet. So how we fight back? Not with bullets, but with critical thinking. But let's also understand the why behind these tactics. Psychological warfare is low cost, high impact, and leaves no fingerprints. It targets your beliefs, your fears, and your identity. And when deployed subtly, it doesn't just influence what you think, it influences how you think. In military terms, this is part of China's three warfares doctrine: psychological, media, and legal warfare. These are official strategies of the Chinese Communist Party, designed to dominate the narrative, shape global opinion, and undermine adversaries without kinetic conflict. Take a closer look at how this works. They use local influencers or fake personas to build trust. Once trust is established, they begin seeding half-truths, conspiracy theories, or seemingly neutral criticism aimed at undermining Philippine sovereignty. Over time, this shapes public opinion and policy choices in favor of China's interests. Now here's the scary part. Sometimes even real Filipinos, unknowingly, become foot soldiers in this information war. When we repost suspicious content without checking it, when we attack fellow Filipinos who criticize China, or when we believe every anti-government rumor without context, we're doing the work for them. This is why digital literacy and national awareness must go hand in hand. Schools, civic groups, even families need to start discussing online influence as seriously as we do military threats. Because this is war, just fought on a different front. Pause before you share. Ask who's the source. What's the agenda? Check for emotional bait. If a post makes you angry, scared, or hopeless, it might be manipulation. Cross-check facts. Look for multiple credible sources, not just screenshots or anonymous accounts. Be skeptical, but not cynical. Question everything, but don't fall into the trap of believing nothing. The most powerful weapon in psychological warfare isn't propaganda, it's your silence. Speak up, stay informed, and most importantly, think critically. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth. Don't let your mind be the battlefield. Subscribe for more deep dives on national security, geopolitics, and defending the Filipino spirit in the digital age.